Hope you guys are all doing well. We're back here again with another episode of the Detox Podcast, episode 268 to be exact. And if you're new here and you enjoy music, podcasts, comedy, or hooping videos, do consider subscribing because we've got a whole bunch of that stuff going on around here. When you do subscribe, leave a like or hang out with us in the live chat like you're going to do today. Helps us share conversations and laughs like this with more people. So do consider doing that. Helps us out a ton. We can accept super chats and stuff like that now too. So if you feel like doing any of that, we definitely appreciate it. Now, before I can introduce you guys to my guest this week and get into some really fun stuff, I got to talk to you guys a little bit about vacations. All right, it's that time of the year where maybe you're trying to squeeze something in before summer's done, or maybe you're planning a fall or winter trip. And let's be real, there's nothing better than a well-earned vacation, and it feels good to just get away from everything for a little bit and enjoy yourself. There's no better place to do it than with today's video sponsor, Alpine House 2, at ALPINEHAUS 2 on Instagram. Alpine House 2 is a classic Swiss Chalet duplex A-frame with a log cabin interior located directly across. And when I say directly across, I mean your least athletic friend can throw a football and hit it from the Ski Brûlée Resort in Iron River, Michigan. Surrounded by forests, lakes, rivers, and more specifically Iron River, Alpine House 2 is the destination for fishing, hunting, hiking, and snowmobiling. They just finished a bunch of renovations over the last 2 months. They've been accepting and been pretty much basically booked up on Airbnb for the last month and a half. But if you want to get in touch with them and book a vacation, especially the UP is beautiful this time of the year, especially fall. There's tons of foliage going on. Check out at Alpine House 2. One last time, that's at ALPINEHAUS 2 on Instagram to stay up to date on other renovations, bookings, and more. Let them know Rita Detox sent you, and they will set you guys up. Now, with all that good stuff out of the way, I am very excited to be kicking it with my guest this week. It's been a long time in the making. The ladies know him as Saucy Boy E. I know him as the owner of Red Sesame Sauce Company. So let's give a whet detox welcome to Eric Carroll. He's in the building.
Thank you. Yeah.
Saucy Boy E.
This has been like 8 months in the making.
Yeah.
When I first started making sauces, you're like, you got to do the podcast, man. We got to try and get you on.
Yeah.
And do like hot ones. And so
I didn't even know I'd be alive in 8 months. I didn't know I'd still be here. But we're here, and we're gonna be trying some sauces here in a little bit. Now I'm curious. Obviously, I mentioned that you're the owner of Red Sesame Sauce Company, and that's a pretty recent development, like newer thing.
Yeah.
But you've been an enjoyer of sauces prior to.
Yeah.
You've liked sauces in your life.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so you and I talked about this a while back, that how throughout my life, I've always cooked, and as a young kid, I would kind of make sauces. I remember, I was actually just thinking about this yesterday. I remember when I was a little kid, 13 years old, when I discovered that ramen, instant ramen is just dried spices.
Yeah.
And that means you can add other spices to it. It doesn't just have to be the little packet.
Yeah.
And so
That blew your mind?
Yeah, it blew my mind.
Dude.
I was just I didn't realize that this was a possibility this whole time.
Similar thing, a buddy of mine, and Heinz actually stole this now, I think, or Hidden Valley, one of them stole this. Not super original, but when we were in college, I had a friend of mine named Logan, and he would do this thing. When we go to Culver's, he would mix the barbecue and the ranch, and he called it log sauce. And then everybody I knew, he just coined it as this is log sauce, and he would tell everybody to try some log sauce, and it just became a thing, and then everybody in Janesville was calling it log sauce. So
So
same.
wait, Heinz stole that?
One of the companies they do a ranch and barbecue sauce now. Yeah, somebody, I can't remember if it's Heinz or if it's Hidden Valley, but one of them does it now. But it was funny. So that's the most I've gotten into making sauces. If you had to eat sauce off of a human, what would be your favorite body part to do that off of, you think?
I thought, oh man, are you setting me up this early?
I'm setting you, that's what this was. I gotta set the tone, bro.
Are you setting me up this early?
Yeah.
Right
I'm
now?
curious. What would be if I was, it depends on who it is. If it's me and you.
What's the sauce? Which sauce?
Okay, we won't get in. We won't spoil your sauces.
No, because that makes a difference. Certain sauces can't go certain places.
Oh, okay. For instance,
I'm not putting one of these
on your Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. What's the hottest you can go on a wiener, you think? Because I mean, honestly, there's probably couples out there that are down to eat sauces off each other, but you probably can't go any hotter than a Frank's Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
you could. There's probably a kink out there for it. There's probably somebody out there that's yeah, I want you to pour this on me and eat it off. But
Yeah.
like there's probably like some scorpion pepper hot sauce out there that people are like, yeah, put this down my pants, and then yeah, exactly,
Dude, yeah, I don't know. That would freak me out. That would, yeah, the most I could do, I think you'd have to do something cool. Just like stick to ranch or something.
Yeah.
But that would be disgusting to suck off a wiener. You know, I mean, I don't have any experience in that department, but I imagine it would be gross.
Yeah,
I imagine
you could also be the one doing the eating.
I could, yeah, off other parts too, for sure.
So,
food is a language. We talked about this
yeah.
prior, and I want to tie this into like we're going to get to some sauces.
Sure.
And for people that I've been talking this episode up a little bit to some people, as well as posting about it even today, that we're going to be essentially doing like a hot ones with some of your sauces, and we've got some wings coming out here shortly. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about like you starting to make sauces, but even maybe taking a step back further, you getting into cooking. So you get this, you get the instant ramen, and you're like, okay, I can add spices to that.
Yeah.
And then you decided to dive in from there, or what happened?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we've had some conversations about this, not too in depth, but like, I've cooked my entire life, and like and my mom was like a really great cook, and so that's where like my love of cooking came from, and like, because I would watch her cook, and like then that became interesting, but like where it really kicked off for me was in college, because like I think I was in like my sophomore year of college, and I just got sick of eating like instant mac and cheese. And I called my mom and I was like, just give me a couple.
Give me the secrets, bro.
Like,
give me the tips.
Like, give me a couple things that I can do, just so I'm not sitting here eating instant mac every time.
Yeah.
Which does taste like vomit.
You think so?
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
What brand were you doing? Kraft?
Kraft, yeah.
Were you doing like literally like the bowls that you fill with water?
Yeah, it's the instant bowls with the powdered cheese like already in the bowl.
Yeah, you can't do more than like if I had one right now, I'd be like, oh, this is cool. But if I was eating that multiple times within a year, I would probably be sick of it. So, that makes sense. What was your like a dish of your mom's that you remember growing up that was like, oh, I love when I know mom's making that for dinner?
Yeah, so I was actually just thinking about this today in prep for the interview. Like, when my mom passed away a few years back, but before she had passed away, she like wrote down all of her recipes that she had accumulated over the years, that she had come up with over the years, and it has been made into we have this whole plan of turning it into an actual book for our family to share, but that hasn't happened yet. So I only have like a couple recipes of hers actually in my possession, and the one that I cook the most often is her chili. Because like it's one of those that like people are like, oh, it's chili, it's not going to be that. Like I've had chili before. Yeah. Like I've had chili. I don't know what you're talking about, type of thing. Like, and then they have it, and it's like, yeah, it's good.
It's that good.
But, yeah.
What did you eat chili? Like, what would you guys pair the chili with typically? Or was you guys just having chili that night? Just a big bowl of chili. It's got to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Man.
It was just you get a big bowl of chili, and then you'd go back and fill up like half a bowl, and
damn, bro. Yeah. So she'd make like a big stew, huge pot of it.
It's a stupid big pot.
Yeah.
Like that's like the most like obnoxious part of it is like if you don't have people to cook it for, you've got this obnoxious sized pot of chili that you're eating chili for like the next week, which that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah. If you're a chili fan, fuck it, right? That's legit, dude. My mom, my mom cooked a lot for us. We had a lot of pizza growing up for sure, because my parents owned a pizza place. But my mom, she would make cheeseburger casserole. Yeah. It was just ground beef, cheese, and like a biscuit or a croissant or whatever on top.
All good flavors,
dude. So good. And I remember like that was something that we used to get like fucking jacked up for, like bounce off the walls. And we used to watch the Pink Panther with Steve Martin, because he can't say cheeseburger. So like we would watch that movie whenever we would have it.
Yeah, with cheeseburger casserole.
So good, man. Yeah.
It's honestly like amazing to me like how simplistic recipes like that become so ingrained like in us as children. Like one of my neighbors as like when I was a kid, one time they brought over taco pizza. And I had never like I had only, up until this point, I was like 9 years old, and like up until this point I had only had like regular standard
cheese,
pizza.
pepperoni, sausage,
and then like that that was another moment of like, oh my God, you can do this to food.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, that was the same thing. I started working at my dad's pizza place, and like we had a BLT pizza.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, man,
Yeah.
that was my shit for so long. Honestly, if that place was still in business, I would be eating one right now. Like we wouldn't even be doing the show because I'd be eating the BLT pizza. I used to throw like, me and my buddy kind of ran like we did a lot of the heavy lifting on like Fridays and Saturdays running the business the last couple of years, and we would just do like the most vile shit with like we would deep fry like half a crust and then like make it into a pizza and then run that through the oven and then stack a pizza on top of it, and we would just do so like something as simple as like putting tacos on pizza, like that's
but that's the thing is like you do weird shit with food, and sometimes it's really bad and you never do it again, but sometimes it's like fuck, like, I'm doing that for the rest of my life.
I respect that, dude. We got I ate Hamburger Helper growing up with it looks like a somewhat distraught face. Did you eat Hamburger Helper growing up?
Yeah,
I disliked it, but I had to eat it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like that wasn't like an always meal. Like that was like, it's Friday night and we just need something simple. And like, that's what's going.
Just hook it up. Hook it up with something little. But we talked about we talked about this off air in kind of prepping for this, and we've had conversations about it before in how like specifically you feel that like food is a language. And I know that I have similar, maybe not exactly that, but we'll kind of get into sort of my thoughts on that in a second. But I'm curious. So what do you mean when you say like I think food is a language?
Yeah, so I mean, food to me is a language in a couple different respects. Like, first of all, it's absolutely like my love language towards people. Like the way that I express like love and appreciation is like, I'm gonna make you something. And so like that's definitely like my specific love language. But even more than that, like I think that cooking food for somebody like is literally like one of the most like loving things that you can do, because there's a whole process to it, like where like first you have to think of the recipe, shop for the ingredients, spend the time to cook that meal. Like you probably hang out with that person
while they
or
eat
people like while you're cooking, and then you serve it to them, and then you spend time like sitting down with them, having a conversation, and like just enjoying each other's company. And so like that to me like is a very loving, appreciative act. And so but then like in the other respects, in terms of like language, like one thing that like I've had conversations with people about before, and I think you and I talked about this, was how like I think food is such a universal language. Like it doesn't matter what culture you're from, it doesn't matter like what you grew up eating, good food is good food. And so like you can, like that's something that you can connect with people on, and like you can learn a different culture's like way of cooking. Like you can learn like what they put in recipes, things like that. And like you can, share that with other people and
bring that into things, fusions and stuff like that. Yeah, dude, it's interesting, specifically with like food being shared, or saying that like food is a universal language. I definitely agree that like the loving aspect of it, or at least the care specifically, like the amount of thought, it's probably one of the most thoughtful things you can do is like cook a meal for somebody. Especially if you like plan to cook a meal. Obviously, like, maybe day to day, like I'm throwing together a sandwich for my girlfriend, might not be like the most thoughtful
it doesn't
thing,
have to be a 5-star.
But I mean, if I'm like, I'm gonna cook pasta for a second, like I had to go out and buy the pasta, and then I had to think about which pasta I was gonna make, and make the sauce, make everything, present it, all that stuff. So there's like that is super thoughtful. I do think it's interesting, and I kind of wanted to get into it a little bit more when you said how like good food is good food. I'm curious then, how do you feel about like, because certain people have different palates, I would say, and sometimes some people's palates, like I know myself, for a while, like if I'm only eating shit. And then I walk into a 5-star restaurant, I might not even know what's going on. Like I'm gonna eat it, and it might not be bad, but I'm gonna be like, what? Like my taste buds don't even know. So maybe not. Is it always universal, would you say, or is there maybe some leeway there?
Well, yeah. I mean, like there's definitely like everybody has their favorite pizza spot, right? And like my pizza spot's different than yours, type of thing. And like to your point about walking into a Michelin star restaurant, like with that, I think you're still going to enjoy it. It's still going to be good food. It might not necessarily, like, you might not be able to like necessarily appreciate like all the intricacies of, like, you know, it's duck foam, or like, what's duck foam,
what went into it. Yeah, kind of almost like good music is good music, but if someone who maybe went to school to study music theory is going to hear something and be like, I know what they're doing here,
right?
And that's fucking cool. Like, it's really cool.
That's a perfect example, because like that really is like how, like, we've said this before, like, cooking can be an art form. Like, it really can. Like, it can.
It's so an art form.
Yeah,
it's so an art form in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I'm not just saying like at that Michelin star level. Like, it can be an art form on a food truck. Like, you know, if you're really doing something different, if you're really doing something creative with it, like, it can hit people at an emotional way.
Yeah, and there's an emotional way. I mean, that's in the same way that art is like, it elicits a reaction from people, and especially presentation is a part of art. I mean, presenting anything is artistic, right? And you do present food, whether it's a beef in a bag or it's fucking plated on, you know, whatever. So I do agree with that 100%. Now we have some. Server Carrington is here to provide us with the goods. This is the meats here at the episode. So we'll get this situated, and then we'll get back into some regular stuff. We are gonna be doing, like I said, almost essentially a hot ones.
Hot ones. Yeah.
We have to come up with a different name because there might be copyright infringement.
Yeah.
I said like a hot ones. I think not. We could call it not hot ones.
Not ones.
Yeah, not ones. Didn't
not ones.
What's his face do that? Nathan Fielder, didn't he have like a not a Starbucks?
They did shitty Starbucks.
Yeah,
was that it?
Yeah, and like they were able to get away with that because it's parody.
It was parody,
This is parody. We're making fun of it, kind of, but doing the same thing. But yeah, so I've got some nuggets here. I'm gonna have Carrington. Why don't you pan down, Mike? Don't show it just yet. Want to get this for a fact here. Yeah, hit the AF on there, angle it down, point it right at this guy, up a little bit. Just eyeball it there. You can switch to her. She'll have to figure it out. Look at that. Look what I've got on the finest cutlery we have. Wait, not cutlery. It's china. The finest china I have. I've got with me 5 dino nuggets and a broken finger. Ignore the finger. But we're going to be eating some sauces, which if you want to, you can switch back to or fix Eric's camera. Just kind of point it back at him. Make sure it's level. And we'll check that in a second. We're going to be going through some sauces. I'm going to let you get into each sauce.
Get it? I'm walking us through it.
We'll do one at a time.
All right.
So whichever one you want us to start with, we'll start with that.
Yeah. I think we'll try to do the not ones, hot ones. You know, same format. We'll try to go low spice and then build
up. Okay. So what do we got here?
So yeah, this is, you know, this sauce well.
I do know this sauce well.
Darren's a big fan of this sauce.
It's been hard for me to not talk about it on the show because I didn't want to like promote it and people be like, dude, where'd I get that sauce? And it's not a thing yet, you know. So now it is a thing officially.
And it's called thickberry, and it's not coming out right now
because it's refrigerated a little bit, right?
No, it's so thick, man.
Okay, look at that.
So
look at this. So this is the bottle here. This is the bottle. We've got thickberry. They can see that, okay, Mike? Yeah. Yep. Thickberry sauce. By the way, I like the labels. Simple, clean. It's a good smell on that, man. Brings back good times. Which one did you put this on, by the way?
I went with the pterodactyl.
The pterodactyl. Okay, we're putting thickberry on the pterodactyl. That's cool with me.
So one thing that I did learn is I need to like label what thickberry actually is, because thickberry is just a clever name.
It's a great name. It's a great name. What is thickberry for someone listening?
Blackberry chipotle hot sauce. So it's like a sweet heat hot sauce, and so like it's like a blackberry syrup with chipotles and serrano peppers. Yeah. And so I mean, here's the thing. I'm fine right now because I know exactly like what's coming with all of these. Yeah. I think there's 3 here that you haven't actually had.
Yeah. I'm gonna get messed up, man, for sure. But I'm excited. At least I get to start with something I really like. So we
start out easy for you.
We can kind of.
You want to do a cheers?
Yeah, I guess a cheers toast there. Yeah, I'm excited to get a look at that. Wait, check my so you can see there's sauce. I'm not just eating a fucking.
Just here for the dino nuggets.
Dino nugget. It's been too long, man. It's been too long without some thickberry.
I know. It's
good shit. I've gone into restaurants and just ordered plain wings. They're like, this guy's insane. And then I break out my own bottle of thickberry. And then you have a bottle and I'm fucking shaking that shit, bro. Almost like a fiend, like a nicotine fiend with like their like
cigarette
you know,
pack.
yeah, their pack.
Don't do it down there.
Okay, yeah, that's weird.
Just-
But Dick Berry. I'm gonna sell Dick Berry for a second.
yeah, go ahead.
Because
You're a better like spokesman hype man than
for
I am.
Dick Berry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might be. Dick Berry to me, this is like, and I've only had one of the other sauces, so I haven't had the other
Yeah.
3 of the 5 that
The
we're
other
gonna be
three
having.
I don't think you've had.
Dick Berry for me is like a step above honey barbecue. Like it's what people think honey barbecue is. Like that's like the basic one I'd go into B-dubs and get. I mean, I still get honey barbecue when I go to B-dubs. It's just a
Sure.
good sauce, got some good flavor, whatever. Not too spicy. This is like flavor wise, if you were to take honey barbecue and make it actually like good, like not like honey barbecue is fine. I like honey barbecue.
Yeah.
This is like good, and it's got like I like the fruit, like the blackberry element. It's great. It adds like that sweetness to it, a little bit of like an acidity too, but the heat is not like this overbearing heat. It's almost more like a slower heat, and it's not super hot.
Yeah.
So I think it's like this is like everybody can have thick berry.
right.
Like it's for everybody at the function.
And that's why we're starting that
Yeah.
at level 1. And like
Yeah.
that, that was one of the things that I've talked to about with people. Like I've always liked hot sauces, like always like been like a huge fan of spicy foods and things like that. But especially like within like the last 10 years, I feel like there's been like this culture of like, let me just blow you out with spice. And it's like there's no like, yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
Like it's
And I'm
yeah.
sure there's flavor. I'm sure
Yeah.
there maybe is flavor there if I'm used to just like disintegrating my taste buds every day.
Yeah.
Like if someone who's used to that, or they're 90 and they
Yeah.
have no taste buds left, maybe they taste something.
Right.
But it's like I don't need something that like the Scoville I can't even pronounce.
right.
Because it's so big that I'm like, oh yeah, let me just.
Right. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's hot, but like I don't have any flavor. And so
Yeah.
I wanted to make sauces that were like
Yeah.
good, like had good flavor, but also like gives you heat. And like this one starts with very like it's sweet on the front, and then you get that heat on the back.
It's on the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I were to eat if I were gonna eat like, which I can eat a lot of wings, right?
Right.
I'm capable of. I might not look it, but I can eat a lot of wings. If I were to eat like a pound of wings, bro, I'm not even gonna feel much heat until I'm like 3/4 of the way through that, and then I might be like, okay, this is getting a little hot.
Yeah.
Dip it in some ranch because I'm a ranch guy.
Yeah.
But okay, we got some people in the chat here. What do we got? Let's see. Kelso says, "OMG, I was eating Eric's hot sauce off Zoo Pals earlier." No fucking way, bro. The culture is spreading. I'm telling you, the Zoo Pals are everywhere.
The Zoo Pals.
Zoo Pals. Shout out Coco, by the way. She's been on the show a bunch of times. She got me these because I talked about it one time on the podcast that I was like, I never got them as a kid.
Never got Zoo.
Never.
Neither did I. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the infomercials
All
the
the time, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
They were all over the place.
It was
but I
Zoo
never got 'em.
Pals and OxyClean, Billy Mays, man. Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
I think that was before the ShamWow. I think the
Yeah.
ShamWow hadn't quite come along yet.
That was the passing of the torch.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ShamWow was the next generation. Okay, so thickberry though, yeah, that's just great. Well, okay, when you're going in to make these sauces, I don't know which one of these you made first, like which was the first
Yeah.
one. Obviously, thickberry was like the first one you brought to like me and kind of our group of
Right.
friends that we were like, okay, this is like, because it's so widely,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
it's easily accessible for people, even if you're not like a super hot sauce person. I think this would be a great hot sauce to just like, man, I want to start building my way up to be like those psychopaths that are like sweating in a B-dub.
yeah.
I want to build my way up. I start with some thickberry.
Yeah, so like I mean, I've always kind of like messed around with different sauces and stuff, but like this one was like the first one that I like actually started to work on it. Like because like when I'm just cooking for myself, right? Like I just kind of throw stuff in like very like impromptu with like whatever I'm seasoning or whatever. With this, like because like each bottle has to have like a consistent flavor for people to come back and buy it. Like this was like the first one that I was like, okay, let me work on this, get the flavor
Fine
right,
tune it, yeah,
and then bring it to people. And so like not the first sauce I ever made, but like this was the first one that I was like, all right, like I've got it down. It's to a point where it tastes good. Now let's go show it off, type of thing.
yeah.
So
Fuck yeah, man. I love thickberry, dude. I respect the thickberry. Okay, cool. So what's number 2? Which one are we going to next?
So I'm actually gonna leave this up to you because, and I'm gonna say this really quick, that I went to a farmer's market in Cedarburg.
Yeah.
And I've always, of these 3, I've always said that this one was the hottest, but like everybody was like, no, it's this one. Like, and they were like, people were dying. Like they were like, this is so much hotter than that one. And meanwhile, people were just like spooning this one into their mouth.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know that these 2 are both gonna be hotter.
Yeah, these 2 are.
Will be hotter than these 3, no matter what.
Yeah.
So it won't matter. I'll go the way you want.
I think. Yeah.
I'll go the way you want me to go.
I think what we'll do is we'll go red, orange. We'll do this yellow guy here. So the orange is the smoke show.
Smoke show, yeah.
And it's because it's smoked habanero. So like this one, what I like. It's not actually like smoked in a smoker. It's just like hit with cold smoke. So it's not going to be like overly smoky or anything like that. It just gives you that flavor and just brings like a little bit of a difference to the sauce. Yeah. So I'm going to go, I don't know, man, I don't know my dinosaurs well enough.
Okay. Which one is that? Guy. What is that? That looks like a Rex maybe? No, that's,
I think this is the long neck, whichever one the long neck is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Dude, yeah, fucking Bronchiosaurus. I played this game called Ark Survival Evolved in the wintertime. And it's the worst game ever created, but I have like a toxic love-hate relationship with it. And these fuckers, you can't fuck them up, like unless you got some good shit, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that on the Bronchiosaurus. Check me out. I'm just gonna drip a little bit.
Yeah.
You see that? That's good. You guys saw that drip? Look at that. All right, let's do it. We're not gonna cheers on this one because it's gonna drip everywhere. I think I did maybe try this one. No, I didn't.
No, this is no. You've tried this one.
Yeah, I've tried the green. That's good, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's good. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So
I feel like I might be. We need someone who's like more reactive, because I'm just like appreciating this.
No, it's fine for right now because, like I said, like you're gonna get fucked up. like I said that earlier. That like I've had all these. Yeah. I know what to expect. The only one that
you're Sean Evans in this.
Like,
I'm just a guy.
The only one that I'm slightly concerned about is this last guy here.
Yeah.
And that's because I'll be honest with you. I made it purely to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. As instructed, right?
Yeah.
I wanted that. So.
Yeah.
Dude, that's really good. Tell me. Okay, so let me hold the bottle up. I'll and you tell me about this. Tell me about the smoke show here. So I like the color. It's got a good color. It's got a good flavor.
Yeah.
I do get a little bit of the smoky on the end.
Yeah. So like it's not meant to be like, you know, you're getting smoke, which like yeah you are, but it's just meant to be like the thing that I compare it to is.
I need what, bro? I'm not No, I'm great. It's actually that's really really good. I just I know what I'm getting into.
And
I know it's not going to get easier.
Sure.
So like that was right here, the smoke show.
Oh
that's
man,
like, this is where Rita like at home. If I wanted to like enjoy myself, this is where I'm capping out.
Really?
This is where I would cap out.
I feel bad now. Because
oh god, dude, this guy's gonna fuck me up, bro.
I feel bad now because like this. I haven't.
This is okay. I need this training. I'm gonna be on Hot Ones eventually.
Like this is the only reason why.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually tried this last one yet. I know it's gonna be spicy.
Yeah.
But like in order to make sure, like because I've had all these, I wanted to share something with you.
Yeah.
Where like I haven't tried it, you haven't tried it. Let's do it, type of thing.
Yeah.
But I wanted somebody to try it. And so I went to a local watering hole that you and I both know that I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
And you know why.
Yeah. No, I respect that.
And I went to the bartenders that worked there and I said, hey, I made this new sauce. It's meant to be incredibly spicy. I need taste testers. And they both tried it and they were dying.
Okay, good.
So
I mean, not good for me in like 10 minutes here, but
like I feel bad a little bit.
You should, you should, maybe slightly. I am gonna be fucked up, man. I mean, there was a time in my life where like Buffalo, like just Frank's Buffalo would be enough to fuck me up.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean now I have Frank's a lot, but
it's, you know, that's good. You're growing.
Yeah.
What's your spice tolerance now though? Because like I know we've talked about like honey sriracha before, and I think
I love honey
sriracha.
sriracha.
I think sriracha's got more heat than that one.
Yeah, but I don't do sriracha ever.
What are you talking about?
I do just honey sriracha.
Yeah, but that still has the heat of sriracha.
Yeah,
the
but
honey
it's
doesn't
got
kill it that much.
The honey, enough for me to be involved.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this is great, and this is like what I'm saying. Like I would put this on a quesadilla. Like I could put this.
Yeah.
This and thickberry. I mean, you could do for any. This is hotter than thickberry for sure.
Yeah.
But like this is like a really good flavor that I think would go well with like if they're like someone's curious, they're listening and they're like, oh, I want to like what am I going to use these for? Like maybe I don't do hot sauces a lot, dude.
Sure.
If you make like chicken wraps, like if you're a meal prep person, that would be fire on it. If you're a quesadilla guy like myself, quesadilla, amazing. That would go great on like some chicken or turkey sandwiches too.
I was joking around with somebody the other day about like doing buffalo chicken dip with that instead of buffalo sauce, doing it with that.
Yeah, or even like buffalo tater tots, dude. Like dude, I make those for myself sometimes, like with like a hot honey or like just buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
And like that shit would go.
Yeah, and like Edgar, mutual friend of ours, he was telling me that he like was putting on pizza, like he was just drizzling it over pizza
dude,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Dude, on a chicken pizza.
Yeah,
dude, on chicken, give me like chicken, onions.
Yeah, but
some of that.
And you asked me about this, I think it was yesterday, if you're looking for something like fancy, maybe for like a date night, something like that. One thing that I've done with that before is like I'll marinate skirt steak in it. Like with like a chopped up onion, and then like after like, you know, put it in overnight, and then day of date, like you pull it out, you grill off the skirt steak, and you put the onions in a pan. Onions caramelize up really nice, and it's like the best steak tacos you'll have. Yeah.
Okay, like and that's with the smoke show guys, by the way. Smoke show.
Yeah.
That sounds like it would be really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're through thickberry, we're through the smoke show.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got the sidekick next.
Yeah. No, we're not doing sidekick.
Okay.
Because first of all, like I feel like this one will be a little bit. We gotta shake it up. Because
okay.
You know.
Oh, I'm gonna make a clarification too, just so people understand. So I don't have the lid for the thickberry right this second, but thickberry, smoke show, and then the sidekick one that I mentioned that we'll get to not now but next. Those ones are all available now. Like you have those out. These other two are not out.
Yeah.
This one will be out eventually. This one is just to kill Darren.
Yeah.
So.
This one, yeah, exactly. This is.
We'll get to those in a second.
This one's just to make you.
So let's look at this yellowy.
Cry on.
This looks
on
like
camera.
a mustard almost.
Yeah. So this one.
Where do you put it on? What dinosaur are you putting it on?
I think I'm gonna do this guy. I don't know the name of this guy. I'm saving I feel like I'm gonna save T-Rex for last. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do this guy.
That's a parasaur.
Parasaur.
Yeah, that's what they call him in the game I play. So I don't know if that's like historically accurate, but the video game that I play in the winter times when I don't go outside.
So this looks like mustard though, because it's got turmeric in it, and so but like the working title for this name is Rooted in Heat, because like, and I think you're actually gonna like this one because like it's all the heat comes from root vegetables, like raw root vegetables. Like if you I'm weird. Most people don't do this, but like if you bite into like a raw piece of garlic,
you are weird. For that.
Yeah, I'm weird. Yeah. Most people don't do that, but like if you bite into it, like it's got like an intense heat to it.
For sure.
And so it's like all raw root vegetables that have sort of that same quality.
Yeah, it's not like some ghost pepper extract that you're injecting into it.
No, that's this guy here.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay. All right, cool. So we're doing this yellow one then.
Yeah.
And you said, what are you going to call it? Rooted in spice.
Rooted in heat.
Rooted in heat. Rooted in heat. All right.
That's the
Cheers
working
to this.
title.
Working title. Maybe if someone else has a name, give it to us, guys.
Yeah, if you got something better.
Yeah, it's not too hot. It's not too hot at all.
It's not too hot.
No.
But
I got really scared with the last one. Yeah.
It does build.
There's a good flavor on it too.
Yeah.
It's very different than the smoke show, like flavor wise, because I mean it does taste more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I'm getting right now. I mean, definitely more of is there? I mean, I imagine there's probably onions involved in this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting some of the onions and the garlic, and it's good.
Yeah.
What would you cook? What would you do with this one? What would you? Something quick and easy, like if I was just like every day.
I honestly probably just something really simple, like put it on like with like chicken, like maybe in a sandwich and chicken, like
Yeah.
I actually have done that before, like where I've done a sandwich, like a regular basic sandwich. I don't even know what it was, but instead of like putting like mustard and mayonnaise, I did that instead.
Yeah, that's good, dude.
Yeah.
That's a very solid. I got way more scared than I think I needed to be.
Really?
But it is.
I'm surprised that that's not, because I'll tell you, like the back of my throat, like this whole area here, like that's like tingling for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I got more off this one. I did get more off the smoke show. But I mean, I'm still like, I do feel sweat coming on. So
Eat a spoonful of that.
I'm not eating a fucking spoonful of that at all, bro. I'm
Just-
not gonna
I'm a
risk it.
little
I know we're gonna
You're
get fucked up.
insulting me right
Oh,
now.
I'm
You-
sorry.
No, you're not. No, you're
I'm
not
sure
wrong.
I'm sure I'll die very very soon
Yeah.
here. Let's see. I asked my mom once. What does it say? I asked my mom once if people eat onions like apples. She dared me to try, and little me couldn't handle the onion heat. LOL. Dude, yeah, dude, if I bit into an onion, that would fuck me up.
Yeah.
Not even heat wise, I would fuck me up like emotionally.
Yeah.
Like I just wouldn't want to
Just-
feel that. I wouldn't want to see
I
that.
feel like that's like a punishment some parents do. Like
Maybe.
you know in Christmas Story where like the kid swears and she makes him eat the bar of soap,
yeah.
or like, you know, hold the bar of soap in his mouth.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like what a parent would do. Be like, you said fuck, like bite this onion.
Bite this onion. That's maybe what Shrek would do
Yeah.
if he was
Well,
a
that
responsible dad.
Shrek likes onions.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He eats them like apples, so maybe
Yeah.
he would. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so let's see. You would eat soap on purpose. That's disgusting. Okay. All right, let's see what's next. What do we got next? A sidekick?
So yeah, sidekick. So sidekick is like, I really wanted to do like sort of just like a standard Verde, like,
Yeah.
but I did change it up a little bit. So like there's, so like this is tomatillo Verde. So like most Verde salsas you get are gonna be like a tomatillo Verde.
Yeah.
But it's got some extra spice in there. It's got some extra peppers in there
Oh, okay.
that amp it up a little bit.
Okay.
So,
Are you gonna tell me what those are after I bite into it? Okay.
I don't want to tell you just now, and I'm trying not to hit my mic while I
While
get
you
this-
beat the
get
sidekick.
this out.
Yeah, jerk the sidekick off, bro.
Just-
You're putting it on.
I'm gonna. Oh man.
You're putting it on the. This is the Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
For anyone that's wondering.
If you, I like
Oh,
how
fuck.
you've got, like a little bit of ego right now with.
Yeah.
You know.
You think so?
Yeah, and I now I don't feel bad
Oh,
anymore. Now
okay.
I'm like waiting for this last.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Just-
Bring you down.
Yeah.
Bring me back down to earth. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got the sidekick. All right.
Sidekick, yeah.
What do we got? Nick says I need a thick berry in my life. Yeah, bro. We we got you, bro. We got you. All right. Cheers to this
Cheers.
one. That's really good, dude.
Yeah, that's my second favorite after thick berry.
Dude, I don't know. That might. I mean, maybe because I've had thick berry so much that
Yeah.
I'm like right now, like
Now it's like, yeah, I'm over thickberry.
that's
Yeah.
fucking good,
Yeah,
man.
it's really good.
Because I think I've tried it. I've tried that one
Mhm.
before. I mean, it was an earlier iteration of it.
Yeah.
That is fucking great, though.
Yeah.
Really good, man.
Again, you're giving me nothing right now.
I'm getting
Just
some
like-
spice. I'm trying.
yeah.
I'm trying to hold my own.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
getting
yeah.
some spice.
Are you putting on a face right now?
I-
Is that is that like?
I don't know if they can see through the camera. I am getting sweaty though.
Yeah.
I am starting to sweat.
Yeah.
And I imagine if I were to take multiple bites of any of these, I would be like if I was eating multiple Dino
Sure,
Nuggets.
It's not. Yeah. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not doing like a full.
It's getting.
Plate of wings.
Technically, I mean, we're 4 in,
Yeah.
and I am starting to sweat. So I think whatever's coming up is gonna really end me. And
Yeah.
I'm sad for eating any other food the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But dude, that is okay. So I want to hold
So-
this up so people can get me co-signing this real quick. The sidekick, dude. It's a Verde sauce.
Yeah. So
essentially.
it's a Verde sauce, and like a lot of Verdes are made with tomatillos, which a woman at a farmer's market asked me, "Are they spicy?" No, they're tomatoes. There's green tomatoes. They usually come in like it looks like leaves, like they're wrapped up. So they're at most grocery stores. But like, yeah, I added some like additional spices in there to like kind of make it different. So you're not just like, it's something different from what you may have had. And then it's serranos and jalapenos. So it adds like some extra heat to it.
Yeah, I definitely am getting a little bit more of the serranos as I breathe more. As I breathe more, the more oxygen that comes into my mouth, I am.
Yeah.
This is great though, because I am very terrified of doing hot ones, but I do have these delusions that I'll be on the show one day.
Sure.
So it's a good. It's good that I have this, and who knows, dude? Maybe I just pull up like I do at the restaurants with my own bottle of thickberry, and I'm like, we're gonna add this one in.
Yeah.
Fuck your last dab. We're doing one. We're doing a last dab.
Yeah.
With some thickberry. That'd be cool.
I mean, maybe I'll already be in the lineup. That would be
holy shit.
That would be the dream.
Because
I feel like maybe this is delusional, but I feel like it is maybe easier to get in the lineup than actually get on the show.
Oh, probably because they got like what, 10 sauces?
Yeah, 10 sauces, and like they change them out every season.
Yeah,
and so maybe
they sell like a box now that you can get like, for each season. So like this current season, I think they have a box of like, you want to do the challenge at home, here's the whole fucking thing, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah, I know. Like that's like how big that show has gotten, where that's like cool. They have their whole line of sauces. Like you can find those at grocery stores and stuff. And like
they're Target, bro, and end caps and shit, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's where Red Sesame's gonna be eventually.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there.
Maybe. You know.
That's legit, man. That's legit. Okay, I wanna get destroyed here. Let me don't clip that. Nobody clip that. All right, let's check it out. Let's check out the. So this is sauce.
I'm not gonna like, dance around it. I'm just gonna tell you what this is.
Okay, before you do, I'm gonna explain to people context-wise. We knew we were gonna be doing this, and I know because of what you talked about even earlier in this episode about how like your goal is to make great sauces.
Mm-hmm.
Your goal is not the hottest thing ever. These are all good hot sauces, and they all have spice to them. They all have.
Right.
They definitely have a fucking kick to all of them, but they're all very tasty.
Yeah.
And even someone like me who like maybe doesn't identify as someone who's like walking into a restaurant and being like, give me the hottest sauce you have on my wings, and fucking raw dogging that with no ranch. Like that's not me. Even someone like me can appreciate these, even when I know if I were to keep eating even the smoke show or this Sidekick Verde sauce, if I were to keep eating that, it would probably fuck me up after a little bit.
Yeah.
After a couple of different wings. I instructed you though. I was like, yo, Eric, we need something crazy.
Yeah.
We need something crazy.
Right.
To end the show, or at least to end this portion of the show. We got plenty of other stuff we're going to get to, and this is that. So give me what it is. Give me what it is. Show the camera what it looks like too, like in the thing, because it looks terrifying.
I mean, it's
a suggestive color.
Like this dark brown, very liquidy.
I bet it's going to look that way on the way out.
I wasn't going to be the one to make that joke.
Yeah.
And I didn't intend for it to look that way. But after I was done, I was like, all right, I guess that's
what it's going to make me end up doing, I imagine.
Yeah,
so.
that's what it looks like. So yeah, you presented the challenge.
Yeah.
Right? And like, give me something that's going to fuck me up. So this is like vinegar, like it's the only base. Like all these have different bases, and like all of them have vinegar in it, but like this is like a Tabasco. Like Tabasco is just vinegar.
Yeah.
So it's just vinegar. There's nothing to mask the heat that's in it. And it's there is garlic in it. So like you've got that, we did talk about biting into a raw clove.
Yeah.
Earlier, but so it's 6 ghost peppers, an ancho chili, which isn't too hot. That's fine.
What's an ancho chili?
An ancho chili. Ancho chilies are like these really big, dark chilies that usually, if you buy them here, like you can usually only find them dried, but they're used in a lot of sauces for like Mexican restaurants. Birria tacos.
Yeah.
Like you've had that before.
Like birria? Like,
Birria,
yeah.
yeah. Showed my.
That was fucked up
Yeah,
right there.
yeah. that was exactly what I was worried about.
Yeah,
That I was
today
gonna-
was fucking
Yeah.
something up. Yeah. Okay, so birria tacos.
Yeah,
they put
like
them in those.
they like you'll find those in a lot of like those recipes because they add like a really dark color, they add like a really rich flavor, but they're also not too spicy. So like that, but I added it in just because.
Yeah.
So there's the 6 ghost peppers, 5 or 6, I don't remember. I lost count.
You said a number. I mean, any more than none was going to be
Yeah.
too many. So.
An ancho chili, 4 habaneros, and just some vinegar and a little bit of water, just so
Nice.
you know, that's it.
I'll
So
make-
they can make this one at home if they want to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I actually probably will eat some of this later, but
Maybe. Yeah.
you know.
Okay. All right. You give me an amount.
So are
that
you
is-
matching me with like what I put on mine?
Yes.
I've been matching every single one.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been putting
All
in
right.
quite a bit on. Actually, I think one of them. I
So
think I
I'm
had a little bit more.
I'm just gonna,
Oh, you're gonna load it up.
Yeah.
All right. You can load mine up.
I
too.
mean, it's
don't
the
wanna-
last. It's the last dino.
The
I don't
last
wanna, I don't
dino.
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
There's
extinct
already
now.
too many copyright infringements on this.
Yeah, we are doing a lot of illegal
You could
stuff
do like
right
the,
now.
So-
the saucy dinos.
The
You could
saucy
do that.
dinos. Oh my god. It's
Let's
gonna hurt, man.
Let's get that. Well, you need a place to grab onto, so I'll leave the tail
Yeah,
exposed.
that's
so you
fair.
can,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, I might have to put my hair up for this, man. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous here. I'm not gonna lie to you. We do eat. I usually eat like. This has been fun. I'll say even before I get into this because I typically when I eat food on this show, it's bad.
Sure.
So like, cause it's always like we're trying like a new, like we tried Sour Patch Kid Oreos when those came out, like, and it was terrible. It was blasphemy. It should not exist.
I didn't hate them.
I know. I brought them in. I know you didn't, but I fucking hated them, and it was disrespectful to something I love, which is Oreos and Sour.
Sure.
I actually love both of them independently, but
Yeah.
terrible together. And I've tried a bunch of other like snacks and random things on the show, and usually like I'd say 85% of the food I eat on the show is bad.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this has been at least the fact that I got to have 4
you
great
had a
nuggets
nice
with sauces
last meal before.
before this.
Yeah.
I can accept it.
Okay.
I'm very scared in the way that this is already soaking into this
Yeah.
dino. Oh my god. Cheers, bro. Let
Cheers.
me see you eat it. Mm. That's a whole nugget in my mouth. No one can say I'm a bitch.
How you doing, man?
That's really hot.
You okay?
Yeah.
I just
I'm trying to stay in front of the
uh,
microphone so it's
like-
not completely dead air.
yeah,
So they
yeah.
can hear me chewing at least.
just like a united front here. I will let you know the back of my neck is already sweating.
Yeah.
So,
It hurts to breathe.
do we have another one? Do we have more?
More nuggets? Yeah.
Yeah, can we do another one?
One more?
Yeah. Just
Make one of them do it. Oh my god.
I'll just put them all in the air fryer. I'll just make
Yeah, we gotta have Mike try one. Ah. That was not bad at first, man.
it was. See, like that's the thing is like that was. I'll take over for a minute. You can. That was my initial, thought. Like when I first, because again, that was my
Yeah,
first
yeah.
time trying it.
Yeah.
Like that was my initial thought of like, actually, this isn't terrible. Like I'm not super disappointed with what I did. You know.
Yeah, I know
And
you're saying words right now for sure.
but then as it continued to build, and like, and again, I know that I'm sitting like you're struggling right now, but like, back of my neck is like fully just drenched in sweat,
It's just not going anywhere. Is the thing. It's just not going anywhere.
and I'm starting to get that, like that saliva
Mhm.
that just kind of
Yeah.
pools. Yeah.
It's just I can't speak. I actually can't talk. There's nothing to say. If I speak, like air gets into it.
Yeah. So I like.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm really glad that
Bring
you.
some milk.
I'm really glad that you liked all of these. Like, I am. Like, I'm really happy that you liked all these.
For sure.
But like, I gotta tell you, it does bring me a little bit of joy that like this, I succeeded. I succeeded with the challenge of, and I feel like I'm holding it together pretty well.
You are.
Just like,
You're doing really good, man. Oh, fuck.
like,
Fuck me, man.
Do you have
like again, like I can
I-
feel the beads of sweat on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
forehead. I can definitely feel them. I'm gonna
Oh,
do a
fuck me.
little, you know.
I might keep some of that.
I'm gonna do a little Southern lawyer dab.
Yeah,
on
Let me
the-
get some.
on the
Doesn't do anything.
on the forehead, but like I can feel the beads of sweat. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm okay. I'm all right.
I'm good too, yeah. I feel great.
Yeah.
I might keep some of that to give to guests that piss me off. Like when a guest, you know, like you get people in the industry know. Fuck yeah. Does this actually help? They say this helps. Does this actually help? Do we
Yeah,
know?
I mean, according to
what actually
to bring in like some chef knowledge, and this is not my knowledge.
We'll
but this
speed
is-
up the chef knowledge
this
so I
is
can
Al-
figure out if I
this
need
is
to
Alton Brown.
Okay.
Alton Brown says to kill heat, you need one of two things: fat or alcohol. So like, you either want like whole milk, or like half and half, or you want like
Or-
alcohol, like you
Yeah.
want tequila, whiskey, something like that to kill
yeah.
heat. But
I'm gonna have
neither,
a sip of
neither
this.
one of us
The
are
milk
doing
will
that
do for me.
so.
Holy shit, I look bad. That's good. That does
Oh,
help a little.
man. Can I out you a little bit right now?
Mhm.
Like that at the beginning, before we started the live, you were a little I won't say upset, but you were trying to fix your hair a little bit, and you were worried about a piece of your hair, and I had made a passing joke about like, don't worry about it, you know, it's gonna look so much worse by the end, and I'm kind of happy.
It is.
about
It's there. Yeah. It looks like
Just-
I did a donut challenge a while back. I ate 100 donuts on stream. I didn't finish.
I'm just gonna.
But you can see me at the beginning versus the end, and it fucked me up. He's just gonna take a little fork of it. That's good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. Well, now that I feel like I've recovered enough, at least to continue this interview.
I do want to say one other thing that like I love the fact that you had asked me a question earlier in the show about how cooking and how it equates to love and everything like that, and this is how we end the eating portion.
Yeah. I feel lots of love right now.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of plotting that went into that last one.
Yeah.
Plotting on my demise, that is. Yeah, guys, I before we wrap, I'm sure we'll plug the sauces again though. Obviously, while I'm still somewhat conscious, I want to get this Red Sesame Sauce Company
Yes.
sauces. You can follow them on Instagram. They're linked in this video right now. It should be the first link in the description, so you can check out the Instagram page. You can message Eric directly on there about questions on where he's going to be. We'll get into it, but you're
Yeah.
doing a bunch of farmers markets,
Doing
doing an
farmers
event
market,
coming up later, which
doing
we'll
an
get to at the
event.
end.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, if you guys are interested, I reckon this is the fucking go-to right here. Thickberry. You guys want Rita, who you just watched die. You guys know my tolerance now based off what he told you was in that and how I reacted. This guy, I could do all the time, every day. Actually, honestly, all three of these I would do all the time. But this guy for everybody. Thickberry is for everyone. Thickberry 2024 and forever. That's your sauce. The Smoke Show. Excellent. I would say if you have a buffalo sauce of your choosing in your fridge right now, I would say this is not the same. This is better. It's a different route, but it's going to get you to a better destination. Wherever you think you're getting with your buffalo sauce, this is going to take you there, and it's going to be better. And I don't eat a ton of verde sauces personally all the time, but if I were going to, this is phenomenal. The Sidekick is terrific. I mean, just with chips would be
Yeah.
great. This, on a Dino Nugget was phenomenal. So I would definitely recommend this as well. And the third one that that you may make in the future that's not currently being bottled, which is the Rooted in Heat.
Yeah.
That was great too.
Unless
so.
somebody else has a better name.
Unless someone else has a better name. But
Yeah.
honestly, dude, thank you first off, before we even move on, thank you for letting us try that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
I hope people check them out and maybe, who knows.
And thank you for promoting them, because like I said, like you're a much better hype man for Thickberry than I am. Like,
I've definitely sold some people on it.
yeah, some people ask me about it. I'm like, yeah, I guess I make hot sauces. Like, I don't know. Like,
It's like that with everything though. Like,
Yeah.
people come up to me and they're like, yo, what kind of music you make? Like when they find out from a friend that I make music, like,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
it's way easier. It just is. Like we're gonna be more self-conscious about our stuff than someone
Right.
else. You know, it's hard to be like, I make the best shit, whatever, because all that invites is someone to not. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. Like my buddy Joe Diamond, he's a mind reader,
Yeah.
and like, so he doesn't know like escaping it. It's like he literally tells you his profession, and you're just like no, right? Where it's like, you make sauces, I make music. Like if I were to tell someone I make music,
Yeah.
they might like they're not gonna be correct like directly combative with me, but if you were to come and be like, I make the best fucking hot sauces, and you were hyping yourself up the way I'm hyping you up, people will be rubbed the wrong way by that.
Well, and something that I do, because we talked about this, something that I do want to like kind of touch on is like that's a difficult thing for me, because in like chef culture, and same thing with music, there is like a subculture of like you gotta have some ego.
Yeah.
Like you have to have a little bit of ego. Like you have
bravado,
to believe,
like I'm him.
yeah, like you have to believe that. I think I told you this story. Like one of my favorite quotes is from this chef, Roy Choi, and I'm gonna probably misquote him a little bit here, but he's paraphrasing. Thank you. He's talking about how like when he opened up one of his restaurants, it was called like Chicken Beak or something like that, and a friend of his came to him and said, like, yo, you can't call your thing Chicken Beak. No one's gonna eat at a place called Chicken Beak. And his whole mindset was, I can call my restaurant whatever I want because the food is going to be so good that you'll still go to a restaurant called Chicken Beak to eat there. And like, I love that. I love that ego mentality. And that's kind of the reason why like all these sauces have like kind of stupid, goofy names.
Yeah.
But it is something that's hard for me to embrace.
To balance. Yeah, it's hard to balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, imagine, you know, you should make it. We could call that last one "shit on a stick," you know, or something to that effect. But that would be, you know,
I don't know, man.
I can imagine that'd be tough. Maybe I can come out with an
go
album.
for a second if you want.
No, I'm okay. We'll make that. I am gonna make that to wrap the show. I'll make them try it, and I'll have them.
You're not gonna
jump
do
in there.
another one?
I'm not fucking doing another one of that shit, bro.
That's the whole point. You wrap up the show like when you're done.
They'll wrap it up. They'll wrap us up. I would say, yeah, put it on. Maybe I'll make an album called like I farted in a mic,
Yeah.
and just to see.
I do need to say that I had like in my own head, this was Darren's demise. That's the name for this.
Oh, you could call it that.
Yeah.
We could probably do a collab sell. I'm sure people would buy it.
Yeah.
People probably would buy it off a merch store or something like that just to spite me. And they would be fucking themselves up too. But I'm curious. So we'll kind of segue now away from food. Obviously, you guys are gonna eat some food. Do you guys want to try them when they're hot? Do you want to try it now, or do you want to?
Yeah, try it on camera.
Why don't you try it? Try it on camera, Mike. Get up here. Yeah. If you want it. So Mike.
Eric wants to see us.
I'll do it with you. I'll do another one with you.
He'll do less for you. All right, whoever wants to go first can sit in my spot here, and they'll try it on a dyno. I will be chilling. Get in there.
This seat is
All right.
hot. This seat is hot.
Yeah. All right, talk into the microphone.
Yeah.
I am. What's up?
Closer.
So are
Closer
you?
to the mic.
What are
I'm
we doing right
fixing
now?
it.
Are you gonna do?
I want to do it like a little bit.
Just give
A
her the
little
real
bit?
one.
Like a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have.
What's a little bit though?
So however
I'll
much,
do-
however much
You gave me
put
like
on,
a
How
full.
much?
how much you
however
put
much
on
I
divided by like 3.
divided by
No.
3.
Mike.
No.
I'm gonna
I'll
die.
divide it by. I'll divide it by half.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, that's.
All right, yeah. Just
So
give her half
we'll
of what
be-
you gave me. You gave me like 2 spoonfuls.
I
give her,
gave.
like, a
Yeah, I
spoon.
did. I
Okay,
did
wait.
2
It just like went in it, I think. So that's enough.
No, that's not enough. You gotta get.
That's like. Oh, that's a lot. Is that yours?
No, that's yours.
That's a lot. You guys. Just got my lashes done. I can't cry.
You have pink tears.
All right.
on the
Do you want to
All
do a
right.
cheers?
Do a cheers.
All right.
And Karen can try to describe to us what you're tasting while you're tasting it, if you can.
I don't
You're
have
tearing
any, I
off
don't
part
have
of
any
it.
water because
Cheers.
I'm only doing.
First couple bites.
I can't do another bit of that.
What are you tasting? What are you tasting?
Do you need me to
I'm
walk you through it?
I'm tasting my gums burn
Sure.
a little.
breathe. It's worse.
Yeah, don't. You can't breathe in.
You said that after I did it.
Don't breathe. Speak. Be few with your words.
Oh, I just took a drink of milk and I feel bad now because you're sitting in it and I just had milk.
I don't drink milk, so I'm fine.
Okay.
It
Now I
like
don't feel bad at all.
She's not fine. She's not able to.
well, it's like I swallowed it.
Uh-huh. And where are you feeling it? Is it in the back of your throat? Because I
No.
feel it in the back of my throat right
It's
now.
on the tip of my tongue,
Really?
like right in front where I'm breathing.
Like, you gotta
Okay.
get in there, Mike.
Yeah.
You gotta do a for real.
Yeah. Mike,
And
how are
listen, I
Mike,
only
how
ate
are
half
you
the
with,
nugget
with
I am a little
spice?
bitch.
So is it?
No, here you're talking to your.
Does it have any taste, or is it just straight
No,
heat?
it does. I
I
taste.
feel like it has taste.
There is a little bit.
There's taste.
Yeah.
It tastes
Tasting the peppers, baby.
Because if I have a decent taste to it, I can handle it. But if you ever had like the blazing heat,
There's definitely a flavor to it. It's
I need water.
So I'll ask you the same
I don't
question.
drink milk.
I'll ask you the
Take
same
some
question
of
that I asked Darren.
water's not gonna help.
I'm not drinking milk.
Okay, drink some.
So I'll ask you the same question I asked Darren. Like, what's your, like, when you go out and you're like, I want something spicy. Like,
I
what's,
just like the
what's-
taste of barbecue. So if there's like a spicy barbecue, I go with that. Like if it's hot and my mouth is
Okay,
perspirating, then I'm cool
what's,
with that.
What's a sauce that, like, if someone were to give it to you, that you're like, no, I can't have that. That's too spicy.
It's not really about spice with me though. Like I like spice. It's like the taste. Like you know how hot sauce has like a taste.
Sure.
How it's like
yeah.
a buffalo-y taste.
Yeah, you're the
I'm
prime
not-
customer for Red Sesame Sauce Company. man.
I do like
we're
this
all
one.
about taste.
This one, dude.
We're
really
all
good.
about taste with adding some heat. That was the
Number one.
whole pitch that Darren gave earlier.
Yeah.
So
I am your
Although
target
the-
market.
So
For sure.
one thing that I didn't mention, Darren, which I feel like you'd find funny, maybe it would have been a good thing to mention when you were asking about eating sauces off of body parts. Someone asked me like
You guys never answered that question,
what
by the way.
I didn't get enough.
We'll
I
get
didn't-
to it. We'll get to
Okay,
I
it.
didn't
okay.
get
Try the
enough
sauce.
All right.
information.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if someone was asking me like what my slogan was, and I said "Satisfy your spicy desires."
Ooh, that's
And,
good.
Yeah, and they
Uh-huh.
really liked it, but they commented on like how it was dirty, and I made the joke.
But
that,
like your sauces are
yeah, they're
pun
all,
intended. They are dirty.
They're all a little. There's an innuendo with all.
but
of
it
them.
makes it stick out. It's
Just-
not just like barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
It's something that you're gonna remember when you try it.
yeah.
I like that.
All right, so
All right, put it in your mouth, Mike.
he
The
doesn't have
pterodactyl
Put it
anything
in
on
your
it.
mouth.
Fly.
He doesn't have anything on it yet. You just put it on this plate.
I'll keep it on the ducky.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Are you doing which treatment do you want? Do you want the Darren treatment or like Carrington?
Give him the
Definitely.
D. Rita.
Yeah.
Give him the
D.
D
Rita.
Rita. I'm just the guest here. and like so I'm gonna go with
Damn, dude, that looks like gravy on there.
I'm gonna go with what the host says. If he says give you
So you did
the
two?
same treatments.
Mine was soaked.
Should I let it soak or should I do another?
You can give it like a second, but then
It doesn't take too long to soak.
Well,
cheers
Alright,
it up, Mike.
wanna
Let
cheer
us
it?
know what you
cheers,
feel.
dude. Oh, definitely just vinegar.
I love the.
It's actually
chewing
really good
sounds.
taste though. That's really that hot? I don't think. No, it's like hot. Like I'm gonna start sweating, but it's not like.
I gotta say that
See, I like spice though. That's what I mean. Like if there's a spicy verde, this is like a really sweet, but it's still got the spice at the end type
Sure.
of verde sauce.
yeah.
That's really good actually. You don't like that?
Bro,
Wait.
the taste is not the problem for me.
But it's. I'll try it again. Soak it in there. I
you
want to see.
you want
Darren, that's
I would,
not
you know
even
what?
hot, dude.
What's really kind of like
The
sad
sweat is there.
is I was just about to say before Carrington came on and tried it, and before you came on and tried it, I had said how I was struggling with like that ego aspect of chef culture. And when I took down you and I took down Carrington, I was starting to be built up. And now Mike's
that's good. That's really good though.
Mike's just sitting here. I didn't even have to convince him to get seconds.
No,
I mean,
you definitely get the hotness factor for sure though.
I mean, I'm going to
said
do it
four?
for
Especially
you.
keep breathing, bro. Just keep breathing. It's gonna happen to you.
Did you say 4 ghost peppers?
No, it
Five.
was like 5 or 6.
5 or
I
6.
can't remember.
Yeah, it's more on the tongue than the back of my throat. I think I chewed it too quick, so I'll slowly chew it.
This guy's crazy, dude. It's insane. My mouth is still messed up. Actually, I feel better now. I can taste more of it now. Like I can just taste it.
It just takes a really long time for the taste to come through.
Yeah, I would eat that again. I'm not gonna lie. That's like a good buffalo sauce.
Apparently, this might need to get bottled.
I know. Because my lips are definitely still numb. You're good. I can switch back.
That's fuck it, we'll take your last dime. I don't want to eat your
That's not mine.
That's Carrington's. Carrington she did a 1 bite.
What I was gonna say is, dude, we could do a fucking. If enough people come over, like if some people start coming over, they ask for that.
Yeah.
Let me know and we can figure something out. Like I'll help you even.
Yeah.
Like we can just do like a little thing maybe with if they buy a bottle of Victory, they get a little shot of this guy or a little
shot
you know,
of
like
that.
enough to do a couple
Yeah.
tries of it on some dino nuggets or something. It's good stuff. I just ate a plain dino nugget.
You look a lot better.
I know. I just needed a minute. I'm still gonna keep the hair tucked behind the ears for now because that's just the way it's gonna be. But okay, I want to get into some funny stuff. We're gonna do some rapid fire things. I know that took a big chunk of our time there.
Sure.
Sure,
Let's do it.
Okay. So I mentioned before, you kind of alluded to it with the like cooking, you know, as a love language and doing it for people you care about. Okay, it's a stereotype that guys never cook for their girlfriends.
Right.
I wish that I was above said stereotype. I do every once in a while prepare something.
Right.
It's not very good, and it's usually a frozen pizza. What can dudes do? What can lazy boyfriends do to step up their game to start showing the girls that they love that they care about them in a cooking sense? How can they give me like the easiest thing that anybody could do today to just level up just a little bit so they can start making their girlfriend better food?
So I'm gonna match your stereotype with another stereotype, and it is true in my own personal experience that pasta is like the way to go. Like every girl that I've ever cooked for loves pasta.
That's the only dish I make is a pasta.
Yeah, you got to do cashew pepe though.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a fancy name and it's super super easy. It's just pepper, butter, Parmesan, and you just mix that in a pan.
Okay.
I don't know how to like really describe it if I'm not actually doing it for you.
Yeah.
But you're just doing pepper, butter, Parmesan, mixing that up in a pan, cooking that down into a sauce. You're cooking pasta, and then you're throwing the pasta into that pan and mixing it up. It's really good. It's really creamy.
Yeah.
And it sounds incredibly fancy.
Yeah.
And so you get points for that.
Of course, yeah. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good. I appreciate it. That's game.
Yeah.
Game is game, bro.
Yeah.
Game is game. Yeah. That's legit. Make a pasta. You said what's the name of that?
Cashew pepe. So
Cashew
it's like,
pepe.
Look it up.
Yeah, I believe you.
Google it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
gonna try. I'm
wait
not
for
gonna try. I'm not gonna try and spell it.
No.
I'm 4 of these deep.
I'm
right
not gonna
now,
make you
so-
spell it. No, we'll let the YouTube subtitles figure it out
Yeah.
like a day later. They'll figure it out on their own. Okay. I'm curious. So we tried some of the sauces. I want to talk a little bit about what are we talking about? Food, girlfriends, whatever. Okay, sorry, I'm all sauced up right now, literally. Sauced right now. Okay. So it's on. I think it's on your website about you kind of you getting into making sauces and whatnot. You've had struggles with like depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. As have I. And I mean that's a lot of my music that's going to be in there, and sort of out of that was birthed Red Sesame Sauce Company. And I'm curious, like, how have you been balancing, or at least like trying to balance, potentially like that side of yourself, like your mental health, and trying to start something up from the ground up
Yeah.
at a sauce company, which is like, I mean, that's hard to, it's hard to start
Yeah,
anything, but especially when you have like, you're struggling with depression, or you're struggling with anxiety, as a lot of people do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if double-edged sword is the right
Terminology.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel it. I'm just gonna let you know that.
I know.
Like,
I believe your plate
I was talking
soaked in it.
fine. Like I was talking fine through most of the episode.
Yeah.
Now I can't even like get basic shit
That
out.
sauce that creeps up on you.
So, no, like it is sort of a weird thing because it is incredibly hard to start something from scratch. Like just getting to one farmer's market, this took me 8 months to like,
get everything where you wanted it.
Once I started to like actually take making the sauces seriously, it took me 8 months. Like I had been working on them for much longer than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so it's like incredibly hard, and it is like a weird balancing act that you have to try and do. But a weird situation that I find myself in is like at the same time, this is what kind of brought me out of that depression. Like, because, and you and I had talked about this a little bit, that like when you're like in a depression and you're actively trying to get yourself out of that funk, like you start to like just kind of throw shit at the walls, like just to see what will stick, right?
Yeah, I mean, you turn into like because I think there's a period, at least in my experiences with depression, right? There's like periods of like you're incapable of doing anything, like you can't move, like you just can't progress, you can't do anything, you're stuck, and it's heartbreaking, and it's kind of hard to get out of that. And then eventually, like you almost get you're like so beaten down that you're like your brain is clawing at anything to like get out of it. So you start just like throwing shit at the wall, like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna try to do this thing, I'm gonna try to do this, I'm gonna do something completely different. Not everybody's like that, but I think the combination of depression and anxiety will breed that, because if you're an anxious person, you're constantly overthinking things, you're kind of grasping at straws already all the time. So like having depression and anxiety, it's sort of like they're feeding off each other, where your depression is like, this sucks, I'm not happy with where I am, whereas anxiety is like, well, I want to control things, I want to figure out what's going on, and now it's like, how would I do that? Well, I just have to try a million things until I figure out what is going to help.
Right. Yeah, and like that's not everybody, but that's definitely me. This when I do get into a depressed state, or like if I go through depression, like the way that I get out of it is just let me throw shit at the walls and just see. And that could be like, I'm gonna go for a walk today, I'm gonna go for a gym, I'm gonna go to the gym today, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But I was really looking for a project, and I've always loved cooking, like that's always been like a big thing for me. And so I started doing these hot sauces, like, and I saw videos online of like other people messing around with hot sauces and things like that, and I was like, oh, I could do that, like I know I have the basic cooking knowledge to kind of take that on. And so I started doing that, and it's been great. But you're right, like now that I'm here, it is that balancing act of like, okay, I've got to keep this going, I've got to keep that momentum going, keep working at it, but also find some time to step away from it as well. And that's a tough balancing act.
Yeah, and it's hard because it's different when you're just starting something. Like there is a lot that excitement is enough to get you out of maybe a depressive episode, right?
Right.
Like that is exciting that you're doing this new thing. But then once that becomes a thing that now has its own stresses and its own and maybe they're not as fun anymore.
Right.
Because, but you know, when you're starting out, it's like, ooh, like what am I gonna name this? Like what am I gonna do? Like there's a lot of fun stuff involved. But it's the same way with like with making music, where like there's a lot of not fun stuff involved. Like when it comes to like making a song, the best part about making a song is the beginning. Like right when you get the first idea, whether it's like a couple of chords, if it's the hook, if you come up with that right away, and then when the song is out, because it's a relief. Everything in between is like a slog.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're like reworking a verse, or you're trying to like maybe figure out why this vocal isn't sitting the way you want it to sit. Like all those little like minute things that like people don't really think about when they think of like their favorite musicians. Like especially if you're someone who is doing it all yourself, and which in your case with making the sauces, like you're doing it all yourself, like bottling. You know, like that's not exciting. You know, like that's just not exciting. And so it's like there's all these less exciting things that maybe that are going to feel a little bit more like work, but like the long-term gratification for that will be substantial. So trying to balance in the meantime of like, okay, this isn't fun every day, or at least every aspect of it isn't fun every day. And if I have these mental health issues, then I need to still attend to that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of a long-winded way of saying you got to find that balance.
Yeah, no, I mean, but there is a lot of truth in the way that you said it. That like there are days where it is really fun because like you're working on something that you've been wanting to work on, and maybe you got a couple things accomplished that needed to be done, so you could work on that thing. So like it's a little bit of a victory. You know, you have those little victories. But there are days like when I was bottling this recent batch. I was in a kitchen by myself, like washing bottles. Like just the bottle aspect. I think that like that took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours just to wash and dry bottles, and like that's not fun.
Time consuming.
Like,
yeah.
It's just
not exciting. It's not naming a new sauce. It's not, you know, having someone try it. You know, all the best parts about it. I get it. That can be very hard.
Put in your headphones, like put on a playlist and just like make it through type of thing.
Yeah, listen to some Rita on Spotify. There you go. There you go.
Listen to I'm Fine on
yeah. So it's interesting. So what's that?
I said, and eat some thick berry, you know?
Eat some thick berry, yeah. Eat some thick berry and listen to
product. That's another hard part. Is I'm batching it. I don't eat the product. Like,
yeah, you can't get high on your own supply, bro. You're gonna run out of it. You're gonna run out of it. Yeah. So obviously, like, I've known you for a while. You mentioned it's been like 8 months almost of us talking about doing the show, because that was like right when you were kind of having. I mean, you had been making stuff, like you said, way before then. But that was sort of the inception of like, oh, maybe I should bottle one of these or bottle 3 of these. You know, you were kind of tossing that idea around. Been about 8 months. I've known you for a little bit longer than obviously the sauce stuff has been happening, and I met you in the realm of bartending originally. Like we were bartending, and I know you've bartended a bunch. I've bartended a bunch, and I'm curious. This is something I want you to teach our audience about, because I had been bartending for 3.5 years ish. Well, almost 4 when you brought this up. You taught me about what an angel shot is.
Oh, yeah. You want
I think that would be a good piece of like a good fact for people. That's a great clip for people to kind of learn what that is. There's a lot of people out there that maybe might be interested.
Yeah.
Could help somebody.
I didn't know that's how we were going to end the show, but yeah, no. I'm happy to end the show, or I don't know if we're ending.
I got a couple
I'm happy
more,
to bring it up
fast
because like I am a big proponent of it. I think it's like a really important thing. The very basic explanation of what an angel shot is it's safety training for bartenders. It's a small part of larger safety training for bartenders. That is, it's a gender neutral training, but it is ultimately meant to keep women safe in bars, where if a woman doesn't feel safe with a person that they're with, or somebody comes up to them or something like that, you as the bartender or they can address you and say, hey, do you want to do an angel shot? And there's all sorts of codes with it. I typically don't like try to explain like the codes to different bartenders, because there are so many that like you might get it wrong or whatever.
But essentially, so what am I supposed to do? So if a chick says to me, if I say, I see that you're uncomfortable, it looks like this chick's made me uncomfortable, I'm like, hey, do you want to do an angel shot? What happens next? What's the next play?
Yeah, so like the whole idea is hopefully that that woman, or again, it could be a man, but it is typically women that are in need of it, will understand what you're asking them. And if they don't, it kind of offers like a little bit of like, oh, what's that? And type of thing. Like it opens that conversation up a little bit. Where
Could maybe get them away from someone that's being weird.
Yeah, it can maybe get them away. But yeah, so like if they ask you for one and you say, hey, would you like to do an angel shot? That's my cue as a bartender to be like, oh, okay. Not overreact, just realize that something's going on and I need to communicate with other staff, security, if there's security type of thing, and then find a way to communicate with you as to like what you need, what needs to be done type of thing. And like most guys don't know what that is, and if they do know what it is, like if that guy that you're addressing the bartender about does know what it is, well then he knows he's in trouble, and so he's probably gonna dip out.
Yeah,
and so
back off quickly, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, so essentially, I mean, I guess that's like, to summarize, it would be like if someone asks you, if you're bartending and someone asks you for an angel shot, that is essentially them being like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with the situation I'm in. It could be because a guy is, really close to them, getting kind of weird, like maybe being aggressive, maybe trying to figure out where they're going next or something like that. Or in some other way, there's a threat of some sort, like just an uncomfortability, and they want they want to let you know so that like either hopefully something can be done about it. And so then your job as a bartender, like you said, is to sort of take that. If someone orders an angel shot, that means I'm supposed to go to other staff, identify who the problem is, go to other staff, explain to them so that we can either rectify it with security, balancing this person out. If it's you cutting that person off, when the next time they come for a drink, or if you have to get assertive and be like, hey, like leave these people alone, like you can do that and not make it like she orders the angel shot and then be like, hey buddy, get the fuck out of here. I can do a lap, come back and be like, hey man, I'm gonna have to ask you to.
Yeah, and that's what I was. You kind of hit on it, that like it's not necessarily like this 911 last resort type of thing. It can be like obviously, like bars want you to use it properly and everything like that, but like it can be something as simple as like, hey, I'm just a little uncomfortable with this, and like, okay, I can sit here and talk with you, like I can sit here and like chat with you,
so you don't
let
have to
the
talk.
other bartender know like, hey, you got to pick up the slack for a little bit because I'm over here doing this right now. And they will, and like basically I can keep a conversation with you for long enough where he loses interest and walks away, type of thing. So I mean, it doesn't have to be like this 911 last resort. It can be something very simple like that. But it's just the whole concept is that you say, hey, I want to do an angel shot. I say okay, and then we have a conversation about it. Of like, in some way or another, we have a conversation of like, okay, like what's going on? What do you need? Type of thing.
Yeah, it's almost like when you call 911 if you've been kidnapped, you start ordering a pizza. Held against your will. It's kind of like that, but I mean, not a nine. It doesn't have to. It doesn't always have to be that serious, though.
Right.
Which is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for bartenders to know. Even as an option, and for women and for men too, for everybody to understand as a thing. Because if, let's say, someone was inebriated, and even if it was a guy, and they heard someone that they were chatting up, or they thought they were chatting up, or an angel shot, that would be like a whoa. I'm being fucking weird right now. I need to get. I need to back off. Like, I think it'd be better if more people knew about that. It's a polite way of handling that situation.
And it is not just like, I was kind of talking there in the context of like women avoiding men, which again, like it is kind of statistically taught that way, because statistically that is the situation, right? But it's not necessarily always the case. Like, you can, if it's like, if you're a man and being bothered or whatever, you can order it as well. It's not, I'm
gonna do that next time I'm out with Mike.
It is a gender neutral safety precaution.
Me and Mike will be out at the bar. I'm gonna order a couple of angel shots. Give me 5 angel shots right now.
Don't inform people of this and then go, I'm gonna go out and abuse this.
Don't abuse it. Don't abuse it. Don't abuse it. Don't abuse it. Okay.
I'm gonna go pull the fire alarm at the bar.
Speaking of abuse,
be me.
Speaking of abuse, we've both worked. We've both bartended bartending for a while.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've worked with some great bartenders and worked with some not so great bartenders. What? Give me a either maybe a story or an example of what it's like to bartend with an idiot.
With an idiot.
To bartend with other idiots. Because I mean, I've worked with, like I've said, I've worked with some amazing people.
Yeah.
I've also worked with some not amazing people.
Yeah, and those stories aren't any fun because when you work with amazing people, it's just like, yeah, we mesh really well and we flow through the night,
yeah,
and then we go home.
Yeah,
we go out maybe, or we go home. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, well, I try to be a patient bartender with people,
Mhm.
like, you know, but I think the worst, it wasn't that they were like necessarily dumb. I just think that they didn't quite get like how a job worked. Like necessarily, like I was bartending, and there was two new bartenders, both like I was training both of them, and they were training on Fridays and Saturday nights, and so like
Already a tough
not
call.
not a great time to be training people. But this girl was like a week and a half in, and every single time because I was the closing bartender, I would come in after them, like someone would help them with some of the, like when I wasn't there, but then I would come in and train them throughout the rest of the night. But every single time I would walk in, she would go, hey, when can I leave? And it would be like 6 p.m. Like we're in the middle, like our dinner rush hasn't even started yet. Like when can I leave? Like I want to go. And I'm like, and like I try to be patient, you know.
Yeah.
And the first couple of times I was like, I don't know yet. Like she wasn't asking to leave right then. She just wanted a hard out. Like she wanted to know when she was gonna leave.
She wanted you to say something, even though that's not how that like that industry specifically does not really work like that.
Right.
She wanted you to say something so that when it doesn't happen, she can go, well, dude, like I'm here. like she start dragging her feet and be like, dude, you told me 8, it's 8:30 now. Like, it's like, all right, man.
But yeah, like I remember it was like a few weeks in, and I came in and we were slammed. Like the moment I got in, we were slammed. I think I had actually come in early that day, and she first thing comes up to me. She goes, hey, do you know when I can get out of here? And I looked, and like in the server well, there was like 5 different tickets. It was a cocktail spot, so like there was 5 different tickets with craft, like 5 different craft cocktails on all the tickets.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, but I do know we have a lot of tickets, so why don't you start making drinks? And like that's I try to avoid like being rude to people like that, and I'm toning it down right now. Like I try really hard to avoid being rude to people like that, but like that just set me off where I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's weird. It's like bartending. I got so lucky, dude. The first place I worked at, I worked with like such incredible people, like top-notch people that like I had a really not the correct picture of what bartending is like.
Yeah.
Where, like, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of great bartenders, but
Right.
when you're at like a really, really nice place, like I got really lucky that I kind of fell into that position. And then you work with other people that maybe have, you know, when someone goes to you like, I've been bartending for 10 years and like they bartended at like 15 places.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, dude, like you suck at bartending.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even that you suck at bartending, like you're just a bad person probably. And that's the thing. Like, and I'm gonna stand on that.
You're gonna stand on that?
Like
Yeah.
you're probably, if you have been bartending, if you've been to double the amount of years where, like, let's say you've been bartending 10 years and you've been to 20 places, you're the problem, dude. Most likely.
Yeah.
Because that's what these are, because the thing is bartending and serving specifically, they do attract, like, it is quick cash, right? Like you're making quick cash. It's a fast-paced environment. It's not a super, I mean, there's definitely, like, you're standing for a lot of hours. Like, I'm not saying it's not physically demanding, but compared to like working construction or working, you know, landscaping, something like that, like it's not a physically demanding job. So like there is like this sense of, you know, it's a little bit easier than some jobs, and it's, you know, you get rewarded for the parts of it that are hard. You get rewarded very well for that.
Yeah.
But it just attracts some people that maybe are scummy and want that quick cash and want to bully people out of tickets and want to like.
I mean, I don't know. I've never worked with anybody quite that bad. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
you have.
I feel like you're drawing off some like personal experience.
I
right
am.
now.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm doing.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we're
yeah.
supposed to be doing right now. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I've specifically worked with people. I remember, for instance, I'll break this down. So, the bar I was at, they split tips. So there was like a morning and a night split usually,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And so it was like me, and there wasn't another person on in the morning. It was just me this morning, and then the PM person was supposed to come in, and they actually were supposed to be getting fired that day.
Okay.
So they were gonna get fired because they like did some other shit the other day. So they knew that. So then they came in like 20 minutes late because they didn't want to get fired. Essentially, they were just like putting off getting fired. And then so they got taken and they got brought to the office, and it was essentially like an hour and some change of a meeting to just end up giving them a write up. So they ended up not
Okay.
getting fired. So they come back upstairs. Now
Oh,
I've
sure.
been there all day now at this point, and
Yeah.
I've been almost 2 hours into this person's shift.
Yeah.
And then they pour somebody who this tab is now, it's like over $130, $140, and they try to like give this guy a Tito's and soda,
Yeah.
one Tito's and soda, right? This person's been there all day. I've gotten them food, I've gotten them plenty of drinks. This guy goes to me, he's like, yo, bro, it's not letting me ring in this Tito's. I was like, oh, I got it, man. He's like, well, can you just you transfer this one over to PM? I'm like, for what reason?
Yeah.
And he's, well, I've been taking care of it. I'm like, you've been getting your ass chewed out for an hour and a half, man. Like, I don't know who the fuck. And I was like, and I just politely was like, oh, no, man, like, I don't, like, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, bro, like, why are you trying to beat money? I'm like, okay, well, so-and-so, what did you pour this person?
Yeah.
This Tito's right here? Yeah. And I go, so you didn't pour these two, this round of two for him and his wife? No. Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
put this food in? No. Oh, you didn't put this. And it was like, I went step by step, and then this guy got in my face, threw a drink at me, tried to fight me in front of people. And
Okay. I was just about to say, I
you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah, yeah.
about. I was just about to say though, up until the threw a drink in your face and tried to fight you, I was already on your side, right?
Yeah.
I do want to say the whole scenario that you were laying out, I heard the sides of the internet arguing back and forth.
I'm sure, yeah.
About who
Who should get
deserves-
that tab? Yeah.
Who deserves that tab?
Well, it's ridiculous.
But yeah.
If I serve somebody
No, you're right.
all
you're
of
right.
their drinks, and then you come in as the PM person, and you're like, oh, switch this to me, dude. If I'm not even cut yet either, by the way, I'm not even cut yet. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
even leaving yet. No, that's still my tab. If I was leaving, you want to have a conversation about like, okay, hey, you're gonna give me this tab. I'll give you this tab, but I just made $140 on this.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me a couple bucks.
I
Fine.
have to say that I retract an earlier statement that I made about not encountering somebody like that because
You know them.
Yeah, because
You know them.
like, yeah, because I didn't realize, like, my brain didn't make the connection immediately, and now that I've made the connection, I made it like halfway
Yeah.
through that story.
Yeah, and then
And
sometimes
it's like, yeah. There are a lot of bullies that work in.
there's
in
just weirdos, dude.
bartending
I've seen
and-
it too, where like certain like I mean, maybe this is like messed up to say. I've seen dudes specifically in the service industry that will like kind of like almost it's kind of gross, like intimidate other servers or bartenders to
Oh,
like
yeah.
force them to like give
Yeah,
them their
yeah, yeah.
tab, where it's like that and then that shit doesn't fly. Like they don't even try that shit with
Yeah.
their male counterparts, like with their male coworkers.
Yeah.
But they will like be like, oh, like Sarah, like you're done, like just transfer that to me, like it's fine, you can get out of here. And they try to frame it loosely as like, oh, I'm letting you get out of here, but it's like, no,
Yeah.
that's my $20 tip. Like, and they'll be like,
Right.
well, it's $20, bro. Like, no, dude, if this is somebody's job, like, I know we've joked before that like
Yeah, yeah.
we have other stuff going on, so sometimes
20 I don't care about the
sometimes $20,
$20,
especially if I
yeah.
fuck with you, dude. Like sometimes $20, I don't give a fuck. Take the
Yeah.
$20. I'm gonna make the $20 next time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a big deal. I know
Right.
I'm not scared that I'm not gonna have money. But other people, it's their fucking job, and you will get these dudes that will come in and specifically to women be like, "Oh, Sarah, you can get out of here. Like I got this." Da, 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 da. And they'll just like transfer everything over to themselves. And it's like,
Right.
yo, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. If someone does not transfer the bill
That-
to you, then you don't get to make that call.
Yeah, that is like that is like a huge thing. And again, like you said, it is like done to women, like where I don't deal with it, or
Like it still happens to
or-
dudes. I
yeah,
had it happen in that one
like-
scenario, but
like, or if it does happen to me, like I feel like I have a little bit more leeway to be like, go fuck yourself. Like,
Yeah.
like I like it coming from another dude, like especially in service industry, if you were to come up to me and be like, yo, get out of here, I'm taking this tip, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. And like
Yeah.
I just wouldn't.
Yeah,
Right. Like,
exactly.
But yeah, that does.
Well,
Like,
it doesn't help that a lot of people are younger
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
So like, not even is it like just women? It's like younger women or younger men, and then it's like, some dude in his like 40s or 30s is like, I mean, dude,
still.
we worked with someone, and I'm not gonna say their name, but we worked with a woman who was just awful,
Sure. Okay.
and she was the same way,
Yeah.
where she would just like, she was an older, I mean, not like old, but like late 30s. Had
Yeah.
been doing this for a long time and would tell you about it.
Yeah.
And just like would try to like bully anybody out of a tab. Like it'd be like you poured someone 2 beers and she's like,
Yeah.
hey, like transfer that to me. It's like, no.
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
gonna take the $2 because I made no money today. Like I'm not giving you this tab.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, you get those people. So that's all I was saying is
Did-
it sucks to bartend with them sometimes.
I just want to make sure. Does her name begin
Yeah.
with the letter between W and X?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We know.
I made it tricky because then she won't be able to figure it out.
she would not put 2
yeah.
and 2 together. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That, I mean, that does happen, and like, there is like that bullying and stuff like that. But like we've talked about, like that's why culture within restaurants is like so important. It's
Important.
like,
You gotta have managers that care.
yeah, like finding a staff that like legitimately likes one another is like not as easy as people think it is.
No, do you
Like,
get really lucky when you find a spot like that?
Yeah.
You get really lucky. Now, okay, this will be the last thing, and then we'll plug your event here.
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
what do lacrosse players like to eat the most? Is someone who played lacrosse in college and also is essentially a chef now.
Man, that's a tough question.
It's a go-to lacrosse.
because I have a very easy like softball joke there that
Give
I
it to
just
us.
don't want.
Give it to us.
I just
Get
don't
canceled.
want to do it. Carrington's smiling. She already knows what the joke is. It's fine. And it should. Carrington just gave me a look too. She was smiling as like, you're a dumbass, not like like she wasn't impressed.
What do they like to eat, bro?
Shut up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wieners.
Yeah, they like to eat wieners. The whole sport is just like
Pretty gay?
It's pretty gay. Like the stick is called the shaft. The part of the stick that catches the ball is called the head. So I'm literally carrying around a dick the entire time I play.
Wow.
Yeah. And like and you're playing with a ball. Yeah.
That's
so,
awesome. I might have to get in lacrosse.
But the other
No, I've never played before, but
the other issue is like I went to rural college but like not like Alabama pit barbecue rural, like gas station restaurant rural. So like horseshoes were a thing. Do you know what a horseshoe is?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or like
That's-
the game?
No. For the food.
You're eating a horseshoe?
The fact that you said yes was shocking to me
Oh,
because
well, I didn't know it, so.
okay. A horseshoe is literally toast with your choice of meat, and it's like beef or pork or chicken or like some obscure animal that died on a farm like 2 miles away. Like, and it's like a massive slab of that meat put on the toast and then just like slathered in cheese sauce, slathered in gravy, like, and then it's got like shredded cheese and onions on it. And yeah, like that's what you eat because that's what's available.
Yeah.
Or the other spot, and this actually is one spot that like I still think about sometimes. There was this spot in where I went to school. I went to school in Macomb, Illinois. Google it. You won't find it on a map.
Okay.
And it was called Chix, Chix.
Fuck
And yeah. But it was this chicken lip joint. Like they didn't have chicken wings, and I had
good.
never heard of a chicken lip before.
That sounds
And I
like
still to this day don't really know what it is.
that sounds like you know that Barnyard movie with the cows?
Barnyard.
Sounds like maybe a dirty
Yeah.
a dirty offshoot of that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Chicken lips?
It does. Like yeah. That's yeah.
Just freaks me out a little bit.
But yeah, like, but they're fantastic because like they're like this long, and they're like just solid girth, solid length. I know what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Just like the girth on them is fantastic. Like the
veins and everything.
Yeah, like and they're deep fried with like this crust, and they just like they have like this, like really like oily but yet like creamy barbecue sauce.
Oh.
No, like hot sauce that goes over it, and it's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
It should have been Alfredo sauce.
And they had a food challenge there when I went to college. And I can't quite remember what it was, but it was like 2 people, and you had to eat like 25 chicken lips plus like an ice cream cake plus something else.
Fuck.
And I always wanted to try it.
I'm gonna have to eat a chicken lip. Never
Yeah.
had one. That's interesting. All right, man. Well, Eric, I appreciate you taking the time to be on the show, man, and telling us about the the lips of the chickens and letting us try all your sauces, teaching us about angel shots and all that good stuff. Before we wrap, obviously we got the sauces. It's linked down below if they want to get in touch with you. I do recommend you guys follow the link, his Instagram, specifically because I know you've gotten, this will be the last thing we plug here. You got this event that you're trying to get organized, that you are getting organized. You're going to be pairing with Eric here, Red Sesame Sauce Company, is going to be partnering with maybe multiple breweries, as well as some food vendors and whatnot to put together a like sauce tasting event. You'll be able to come out, buy some sauces, eat some good food, and the companies like the trucks or potentially food trucks are going to like make food with the sauce. Yeah,
it's such a hard thing because like there's a lot of interest, but no, like I don't have anybody confirmed, so I don't want to throw anybody under the bus to your 10 followers.
That would be rude.
That would
be fucked up.
So right now, like we've talked about this entire episode, like it's so like this is so brand new, and when it comes to like shipping food, like if you want to order a bottle of hot sauce, I don't have the capability to do that yet, right? Because I can't ship food right now. So I'm trying to hit up as many events as I possibly can, like hit up as many farmers markets. And I like you and I kind of spitballed about this at one point in time. It would be cool to do like my own events, like let me just host something instead of relying on other people to have events going on. So in late September, September 28th is the preliminary date right now. We're going to try and do an event where it's going to be a hot sauce centric event where people are like, we're trying to do a little bit of a throwdown where some like other people can bring their sauces to compete with mine and whose is better type of thing. I have talked to a couple of I've talked to a brewery, and they threw out an idea of doing like a beer and sauce pairing type of idea, which I thought was super fun.
That'd be really cool.
So if you want to come to that, or if you want to find me, if you want to buy this stuff, like either hit me up on Instagram, shoot me a message, or just follow me on there, because I'll always post
what's going on, where you're going to be,
and there's going to be more as things do get confirmed for the event in September. Those will constantly be posted. Those updates will constantly come out, so you'll know when it's happening, where it's happening, how to go to it, what's all going to be there, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and if let's say they're listening on Spotify real quick, I'm going to read them the Instagram quickly so that they can get that. That's at red_sesame_sauce_co. So on Instagram, if they want to check you out, they want to stay up to date on what's going on, I would recommend you guys do that big time, because like you said, he's going to be doing a bunch of events, and if you want to just catch him at one of those, maybe he'll be close to you. You don't even know. Like maybe you'll be right near where they're at. You might as well pop out, try some sauces, buy a couple of bottles.
This past weekend, I was out in Cedarburg.
Yeah.
So
not far.
It's not far, but it's also not Milwaukee. I'm in Milwaukee, but I am driving out to different places. So
Otherwise, you can always hit me up, and I can get you in touch with Saucy Boy E. But we appreciate you for taking the time, man. I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in live today, as well as people that are going to be watching or listening days after, or on Spotify or here on YouTube. I want to say a quick shout out to our patrons. If you're up on the screen right now, if you guys are interested in getting behind the scenes access to extra podcasts, extra videos, as well as a series where I break down how I mix, master, write, record every single one of my songs, go to patreon.com/Darren Rita, and you can help support the channel for as little as $1. Also want to say a quick shout out to Alpine House 2 for sponsoring another episode of the podcast. That's at Alpine House 2 on Instagram. Check them out. Take a vacation. With all that stuff out of the way, this has been episode 268. Got a very special guest for you guys next week, someone you guys haven't seen in a fat minute.
And